cycle syncing is where you sync whatever perhaps you're eating or your exercise or your rest, anything that you're doing in life, you sync your life basically to your monthly cycles. So men cycle on a 24-hour basis. They cycle on a 24-hour cycle. They wake up in the morning, they have higher energy during the day, then they go to sleep and they rest, and then they start again the next day. Women are different. We cycle throughout the month. So our rest period is during our menstruation. So when we menstruate, that's they call it the dark moon time or the winter. So that's our like hibernation time. So that's when it's really important to get rest, to be restful, maybe do some restorative yoga, have a massage, you know, just really to take care of yourself. And then we'll come out into the follicular phase, which is between menstruation and ovulation. So the first 2 weeks of your cycle. So your cycle starts on day 1 of your period. So those first 2 weeks roughly, I mean it's different lengths for everybody, but on average it's about the first 2 weeks is the follicular phase, and that's when we start to bloom again. It's like the springtime. We start to sort of come out of ourselves a little bit, regain a little bit more confidence. Sometimes maybe we might have lost that with the premenstrual phase, and just start to feel more energized and more like ourselves again. Then we'll go into the ovulation phase, which is like peak summer, which is when men don't realize this, but this is when men can be really attracted to you. Because you're letting off those pheromones, you know, your body is ready to kind of reproduce, so it's emanating all these amazing pheromones, and you're at your most confident. You might even find that you dress more confidently, you know, you act more confidently, you find it more easy to socialise or network. It's really interesting. When you start to really notice these times in your month, you might notice the differences. And then we'll start coming back down into the autumn, which is the luteal phase, the last 2 weeks of your cycle between ovulation and your period starting again. And that's when things start to wind down. Now, if you have PMDD or if you're trying to conceive, those 2 weeks can be horrendous, especially if you're doing both. And quite often they go hand in hand, because the fertility journey can you know, create some upheaval within your emotions in that 2 week wait. So if you have PMDD, obviously it's the progesterone that your body's reacting to those hormones, and it can make you feel quite low, really, really low in some cases. You know, PMDD is very heavily linked to suicidal tendencies, suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation, that's the word I was looking for. So it's really, really important to look after yourself during that time. You know, if you're in your 2 week wait as well, it's time to really start to rest, take some gentle exercise, some walking. Again, restorative yoga is really wonderful for this time. But if you are trying to conceive, it's really important to also be encouraging blood flow to your reproductive organs during that time. So gentle movement, gentle walking, gentle yoga is really good to encourage blood flow to your uterus, so that it's creating a nice little bed for the little M baby to nest into. So if you want to know anything about it, then just give me a message. I'd love to hear from you soon.